Final Four begin with the conference championships. And you'll see on this, however this is posted on your page, but there's 5 big conferences. I guess they call them the Power Five, and they've got their conference championship weekends next weekend. And so if you live in one of these cities, I certainly want to encourage you to go preach at these games. These are good events. You have like I went to a lot of these games, SEC championship games, when they held them in Atlanta. And so you'd have people come from all over the South to the games, especially a lot of Kentucky fans. And they're really good. So, hey, these are good opportunities to reach a lot of new people coming to town. And so it looks like the SEC championship game is in Tampa next weekend, or I'll be there. And then you've got the Big 12 in Kansas City. You've got the ACC in Brooklyn, New York. Is anybody out there in Brooklyn, New York? What an amazing opportunity to preach out there. In general, the Pac-12 is in Las Vegas. Anybody live in Las Vegas? Want to go over there and preach 3 or 4 days? And then who did I leave out? Big 10 in Indianapolis. So Indianapolis, Big 10, Big 12 is in Kansas City, Pac-12 in Las Vegas, ACC in Brooklyn, New York, and SEC in Tampa, Florida. So check these places out. Look, if you can go to there and preach at one game, that's better than nothing. So check the schedule out, click on the link, and see where they're playing. One thing about these games, if you've never been to one before, is a lot of the tickets are for 2 games. And so you just got to make sure you get there at the beginning of the 2-game series. You can look on there and get a feel for it. And so catch the people coming in for the 2-hour window before the actual game starts. And then as they narrow down, they start obviously with a lot of games, and then they narrow down to 4 games, the semifinals and the championship game. So probably the semifinals are on Saturday, and the championship game is on Sunday. That's what it looks like at the SEC in Tampa. So, again, they're great opportunities. You have a lot of new people coming at these arenas, a lot of fans. Let's say their team's having a great year. They're like an underdog or Cinderella, whatever the word is these days, and their fans show up at the championship. I think in the SEC, someone told me the other day that Auburn's number 1, I think, or something like that. That's not normal in the scope of basketball championships. So, hey, it could be a lot of new people down there in Tampa, Florida, for me at least. So, hey, man, check it out. And then I'm going to talk about this throughout March Madness. You're going to start to see starting the 16th, they're going to announce the brackets for the rest of March Madness. And so if you don't know anything about the Final Four, they play these games throughout the country, and they'll play district regional championships. They narrow it down from 64 teams. And then if they're playing 64, then 32 teams advance, and then 16, then 8, then the Final Four in New Orleans. That's how it works. So you've got multiple weekends coming in for that to go on. Hang on, I'll be right back. Hold that thought. Little package delivery, got to love it. Anyway, so I want to encourage you to preach at the games, man. Get out there and preach at these basketball games. They're great events, lots of people. What that means to me, it's always about the people there, fans being there to hear the gospel. The outcome doesn't matter. Who's in it doesn't matter. What does matter is fans are there to hear the gospel, and that's what we're trying to do, dear friends. So listen, if you got any questions, call me, send me a message, 423-724-7500, 423-724-7500, and then, sort of catch the fever, if you will, and end up with us in Indianapolis and New Orleans for the Final Four, in New Orleans for the Final Four. I think there's already 5 or 6 guys coming. So we're getting a good start here. So New Orleans, I'm going to put in a plug here for sure, is a good city for preaching. The stadium, if you've never been there, it's now called Caesar Superdome, is probably 5 or 6 blocks from the French Quarter. There's always somebody at the French Quarter. So you bring in fans from out of town to the city, and then you mix that with the French Quarter. You've got a recipe for a lot of people to hear the gospel. So we'll be there preaching Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Saturday are the 2 semifinal games, and Monday's a championship game. There'll be people out there. We'll be out there preaching, tracking, talking to people for 8 hours Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So contact me and come join us down there in New Orleans. Should be a lot of fun. Listen, get out there and preach the gospel. Life is but a vapor. Go tell somebody about the Lord. See you.